You want to hear a particularly bad take? I have one for you.
He is sending direct orders in public. He is thanking people for carrying out those orders. He's firing people who don't carry out those orders. I mean, what more sign do you need that Trump is directing this in public? He's not doing it in private. It's literally happening out in the open.
It's almost like he got elected president. I mean, honestly, he has never made any secret, nor have any of his people ever made any secret that they believe a great many injustices were committed against him. And honestly, when you look back on it and you look back at the Inspector General reports and you look back about everything that we know now that happened from the beginning of his first term all the way through now, there are some people that need to be held accountable.
That's not a particularly fresh take. Scott Jennings and other defenders of the president have been saying this for the last year. You'll notice I didn't say conservatives because there's nothing conservative about the approach that this administration is taking. Bolstering the power of government, and particularly the federal government, is not at all aligned with conservative principles. But the point I want to make here is twofold. First, it's a childish definition of democracy to believe that majority rules is the only principle of democracy. Scott Jennings knows better. The framers of the Constitution absolutely knew this. We got it from Madison and Federalist Number 10. We have a number of mechanisms in the Constitution that are there to guarantee that the majority doesn't run roughshod over the minority. Here, of course, you understand I'm talking about minority and majority ideas. And the second part of this is that even if you did believe that an election entitles you to full rule, you have to acknowledge that it happens within the bounds of constitutional powers. In other words, even if you believe that Donald Trump is entitled to do what he wants because he was elected, that doesn't mean anything that he wants. The reason it's so infuriating when Scott Jennings says things like this is that just because you say something in a campaign and then go on to win doesn't mean you can do it. You can say during a campaign that you're going to do patently unconstitutional things. And just because more people than not agree that you should do them doesn't mean you're allowed to do them. That's democracy. There are rules. And I honestly don't know what the end game is here. I understand the policy preferences of people who support Donald Trump, and they want those policy preferences to prevail. But the state of our republic is so much more important than any individual policy preferences that they gotta understand that when the Democrats get back in control of the White House at some point, that it's all gonna turn the other direction. Or maybe they're not planning to have any more elections.